this was not my, this is not what I had planned at all today. I was going to do a longer version of something. But I had a doctor's appointment, and as you can see, my eyes are really dilated, and I can't see anything. Um, Basically, what I was going to say is basically I was going to have a pity party today, and maybe I still will. I really need a sidekick for this if I want to do this because I'm not organized and it's hard to bounce ideas off of myself. I do have the animals around me though. Um, I've been shoveling for the last 24 hours, so I'm tired and cold and sore and wet and all of the things. And so that is part of my problem. And then, the first thing I read this morning is about not just the fraud, but that our tax money, our property tax money, is going to NGOs. And I had a screenshot of where they were going, but I can't find it now because I can't see. And but it's Alpha News did a bit on it with some guy that I can't remember his name now, which is why I need a sidekick. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Um, but there were, millions and millions of dollars going to NGOs. One of them was the YMCA and of St. Paul, which I used to be a member of, but I quit it when Lee Finke, one of the representatives north of here, I want to say in Roseville, he is a transgender woman. He's AGP. He's a transsexual. I don't know what the fuck we're gonna call anybody, but he's a dude who dresses like a woman sometimes, but he uses the women's locker room is what it comes down to. And he made a video of himself, after his workout, which is where I was going to work out, and then going into the women's locker room. And I mean, he didn't go into the locker room with the video. He made it saying that he was going to go use it. I want to make that clear. At least I don't think he did. Anyway, he didn't go into it as far as I know with the video camera, but he said that he used it, which is enough for me. And I don't know if he used it. I never saw him in there. But I don't want to take that risk. I don't want to see him naked, and I don't want to have him see me naked. And that's all there is to it. So I quit. And to find out that millions of dollars of my property tax money is going to them really set me in a mood. Among other ones, there were a bunch of other NGOs that it was going to. I didn't even know the YMCA was a charity that, first of all, why is our property tax money going to any charity? Shouldn't it be going to fix the streets? That's what I'm so confused about and pissed off about. And I want to get fired up because I just want to go have a glass of wine and go to bed. But why is our tax dollar, our property taxes, going to the YMCA, or I can't think of the other ones, but there were similar places or similar charities. I think Catholic Charities was on there and all these other places. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought charities, that's the whole point, is that they raise their own money to give to people in need. Which left it so that I'm giving to these charities without knowing it, I guess, is really kind of what pisses me off. I don't get to write it off on my tax return because I didn't know about it. And, or maybe I do. Fuck, who knows? Who knows what my tax people do? See, I don't know anything. And now I'm really pissed off. And I don't have the time to try and figure it out because I don't even know where to begin to look to figure out all this stuff, if that makes any sense. So I don't want my money going there. I want it to fix the roads. I want it to fix the sidewalks. I want it to fix the lead pipes coming into my house. And if we don't need that money to fix those things, even though we do, we're going to have tons of potholes come spring. The roads are already shit. If we're not using that money for what it's supposed to be used for, then I don't want to pay as much as I'm paying in taxes. And our taxes were just raised again. So for next year, they're going up again. I don't know what percentage, but it's a lot and it's not worth it. But the thing is, I'm spending my money on property taxes now. And fuck, pissed me off. Anyway, so that started my day. And then it just went downhill from there. And so I talked to 2 clients this morning, and we have this new policy going into effect January 1st. It's basically you get to take 20 weeks leave for caregiving. So you could be taking care of your parents or your children, or it could be maternity leave. You could be taking care of your neighbor, your pet probably. It could be for your own mental health, but everybody is given or everybody is entitled to 20 weeks of this paid. And I'm sure it's a discounted, it's probably not your full pay, but it's like 80% or something like that. Who knows? Off the top of my head, I don't know. But the the opportunity for more fraud is just built into this. And I hate to be the whiner, but I worked my ass off. I didn't get help. I mean, I got help from my parents. I got help from, that was it, basically. And I have hustled for my whole life. And now I just find out that because of this new policy going into place, that these 2 clients are probably going to be wrapping it up. These are my last 2 clients. And I don't blame them. I'm not mad. I'm glad that I at least got a little bit of warning. It's not 100% sure, but it's looking that way when they're talking about, what they're talking about. And I don't blame them. They barely made it through COVID they're still struggling from COVID. It really did a number on them, like most small businesses here. And this is the problem with this. It is a small business killer. It is just going to, we're going to be left with restaurants like Chili's and CVS or Walgreens, Target. You're not going to have neighborhood stores. You're not going to have mom and pop anything left. And COVID already took care of a lot of that, not to mention just, big chains and things like that also did. But there were a few that are really cool. A lot of restaurants, a lot of really neat independent bookstores and all of that. They're all going to be gone because they can't afford it. Somebody with 2 or 3 employees, they can't afford this. And what if those 2 and 3 employees decide to take their 20 weeks off all at the same time? Then you're left, you can't do anything but close up. I mean, because you're paying them still, even though it's discounted, you're still paying them. And then you're going to have to find somebody to cover those hours. So you're going to have to pay somebody else. It is such a stupid, stupid policy that they are putting into place. And it is going to wreak havoc over this state that's already reeling from all the fraud. So I started Googling, I went to Zillow and I started looking for other places to live. And I've done this before. I don't want to leave. I love Minnesota. I mean, it's cold and there's a lot of snow and I get kind of pissed about that come especially March. But it's my home. My family is here. This is all the people I grew up with are here for the most part. I mean, they might be in Wisconsin now, but they're still relatively close by. So I don't necessarily want to leave. And the thing is, I have to go someplace like Texas, which I lived in Texas for a while. I would happily go to Texas, except it's so fucking hot down there. But it's affordable. That's the thing. I can buy like twice the size of my house for less than what my house cost. And the property taxes are left. And there's no income tax down there. And I just don't understand this. How, Walls gets up there and he says, oh, Minnesota's being run so well. No, it's not. It really, really isn't. We've got to get him out of here. And along with all of his other people that have just ruined this state. And I hate to be hyperbolic because I know I sound hyperbolic, but Jesus Christ, it's not this. They run this state into the ground. And I don't know what we're going to do about it. I don't know that we can wait for the election. I'm sorry. I'm just really irritated by the whole thing. And then I got into it with somebody on Twitter because I suggested that Somalis are not the problem. And I don't believe that they are. Most Somalis want to assimilate. At least the ones I have run into and come across, have all been people who want to be part of the American, experiment and part of the American dream and all of that. I, you can't, maybe the older people that came here, probably they don't want to learn the language maybe, and who can blame them? It's can't be that easy. But you've got the kids who have been born here. I was out at the mall not too long ago, and there were two teenagers, Somali, woman in a hijab, dude. Both clearly were born here. They had Minnesota accents. They sound just like me. And they were kind of in a little alcove. They were getting a little frisky with one another. And it was adorable. They were doing what teenagers do. Those people are not looking for Sharia law. They're not the problem. They're going to high school. They're playing on sports. They're going to dances. They're doing all of these things that all American kids do. And you cannot tell me that when you live in America and you experience all of the wonders that come with it, the freedoms and the everything that you get here, the ability to say your mind and to do what you want for the most part, even here, you can still do what you want to do for the most part. You just get taxed for it. But you can't tell me that this woman who's flirting with this guy and he's flirting right back and they're, making out a little bit and all of this stuff, that she's not thinking to herself, oh yeah, I want to, go back to a place where I don't count, where I don't have a voice, where I can't vote. That's bullshit. These people, these Somalis most of them are absolutely perfectly wonderful additions to what we have here. There are a lot of people at the top who are shit and who are taking advantage, but somebody told them how to do it. And I'd like to know who that is. Those are the people we should be mad at. Those are the people we should be trying to get out of here. Not the people who want a better life. And I believe that they want a better life. And I'm just so tired of trying to, I see what's happening online and, everybody, they all need to go home. Well, this is their home. So suck it up and accept it. Sorry. It's just getting really ugly here. And I don't think that that's going to end well for anybody, let alone us Americans, which they are. Most of these kids have been born here. So whatever, I'm frustrated and I don't really want to move to Texas and I don't want to necessarily, Indiana doesn't look that bad. Georgia, no, I'm sorry. I don't think I can do that. And I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. But I'm feeling real sorry for myself these days. And then I went to the eye doctor and he decided to drop me, which I was not expecting. I had all sorts of things planned for this afternoon and now I can't see at all. But look at how big my pupils are. Isn't that wild? And the lights are really, really bright. So that is enough probably pity party for me. I'm probably going to go and, I don't know. I thought that was my cat. It was my boot. I had nothing to drink, but I'm going to shortly. Anyway, I hope we can sort some of this stuff out. I also hope that we don't succumb to this mob mentality that, I mean, it's I hate seeing this. This is no worse than, I don't even want to break it down into left or right, but when the left was telling us we can't say that a man is a woman or a woman is a man or that a man can't be a woman. I don't even know what it is anymore. But when that was getting everybody canceled, this is no different. The people on the right are doing the same bullshit that the people on the left were doing. And it doesn't make it right. It doesn't work. You look stupid. You look bigoted. I mean, now I feel like using the bigot and the racist thing at these people. And these are people on the right. So, get your shit together, calm down. Life is, I don't know. Anyway, I do need a sidekick. So if anybody wants to be my sidekick, that would be great because I could use some help on this. It could be a lot of fun. Anyway, I will talk to you later. Look at that. No animals in this one. So that was fun too. All right. Talk to you later. I'm not high. I know it looks that way, but I think I'm looking up. And so I'm not okay. I'm done. Bye. I'm not high. I promise. I don't do that. Bye.